Now on WRDE Coast TV.
Without J1s, I probably won't be able to get all my stores open.
Help Wanted, how business owners plan to attract new employees despite a potential decrease of J1 students.
Changes to the way you sip in Rehoboth Beach, why a push away from plastic straws is turning some heads.
And there's a reason why your head's feeling full and why you're sneezing, and there's a really good reason. And the rain may help us out over the weekend with this.
Tram fares in Ocean City, they're going up. We're going to tell you what it's going to cost to ride.
Now on WRDE Coast TV.
So look at the latest forecast models, and we're in for a rough rock and roll type of an evening starting at 10 o'clock, and we'll update you on the latest warnings in our area coming up in a moment.
Training in Italy, how a Sussex County soccer player earned this golden opportunity.
I sentence you for the term of the rest of your natural life.
Alex Murdaugh has learned his fate, the next steps as he heads to prison.
Now on WRDE Coast TV.
A twister turned tragic, how you can help one family who suffered a loss in Saturday's tornado.
And we take an in-depth look at the deadly storms from the past weekend and prepare for more rain by the end of this work week.
The cleanup after this weekend's tornado continues, how neighbors are coming together in this time of need.
And the police response to the tornado, what DSP says it did to keep the community safe.
From the beaches to the bays, coverage you can count on. WRDE Coast TV News at 5 starts right now.
Breaking news this evening, a man suspected of leaking top secret government documents is now in custody. Good evening, I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 5. We begin tonight with that news from the Pentagon.
This photo is from the New York Times. It shows the suspected leaker. He was arrested in Massachusetts this afternoon, where he's a member of that state's Air National Guard. As NBC's Alice Barr shows us, that man was relatively easy to find.
A Pentagon spokesman said that the Defense Department is reviewing its safeguards for classified materials, though he stressed there are stringent guidelines already in place.
It's truly been a taste of summer today in Sussex County. Many people were enjoying a cold one this afternoon at Dogfish Head Brewery right here in Milton. And look at Rehoboth Beach, people lounging on the sand, some even in the water there, and it's April.
I love every one of these pictures. In Georgetown, you see a perfectly blue sky. Some people were sitting in the circle this afternoon. And in Milford, some kids were shooting some hoops at the local park. For more on this heat up in mind and in mid-April, here is our first alert chief meteorologist. It's one of those fun days, Paul Williams.
Absolute joy. I'm everybody's favorite guy. Back to you, Maddie.
Thank you, Paul. Speaking of summer-like weather, if you need a good book to read, the Friends of the Lewis Public Library is having a Beach Reads book sale. There will be over 3,000 used books for sale. All the books are all in categories for popular fiction for all ages. Now, proceeds will go towards the library. The sale will be Friday, May 5th from 4 to 6 p.m. If you can't make that, Saturday, May 6th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Broken ground in Georgetown, despite some delays. You may remember the groundbreaking ceremony for the new facility in June 2022, and after a few hurdles, the new courthouse is making progress.
WRDE's Charles Reinert shows us why the town is looking forward to the project being completed.
It is scheduled to be done by spring of 2025. With coverage you can count on, I'm Charles Reiner reporting in Georgetown, WRDE Coast TV News.
The courthouse has a price tag of $120 million.
Plans for a new look on the end of the boardwalk are headed again to the Rehoboth Beach Planning Commission for review. The proposed Bellhaven Hotel, it's been in the works for years now, but a meeting on Friday could push it forward even further. WRDE's Heidi Kirk is live in Rehoboth Beach. Heidi, right now, it's Candy Kitchen, but it could become a luxury hotel.
Charlie, don't worry, Candy Kitchen is not going anywhere, but what you could see right there is a luxury upscale hotel. With coverage you can count on, live in Rehoboth. Heidi Kirk, WRDE Coast TV News.
The city of Rehoboth Beach will hold its Arbor Day celebration Friday, April 21st. There will be a tree planting ceremony with 4th and 5th graders from Rehoboth Elementary School. The ceremony kicks off at 10 a.m. and will take place at the park on 3rd Street between Kent and Cookman Streets.
In Delaware Chancery Court today, jury selection taking place in the $1.6 billion defamation case between Dominion Voting Systems and Fox News. At the crux of the lawsuit is the repeated airing on Fox News shows of debunked conspiracy theories about the 2020 presidential election. 300 or so potential jurors are going to be whittled down to 12 plus any needed alternates. Some of the evidence that those jurors will eventually hear include emails and texts from Fox host, producers, executives, and even owner Rupert Murdoch, showing they didn't actually believe the theories and claims that they were espousing on air. DelDOT has announced a work zone safety event will take place on Monday in Milton. It's going to take place near intersection of Route 16 and Route 1. That's over near the Rookery Golf Course. April is Work Zone Safety Awareness Month. The event starts at 10:30 a.m.
The Food Bank of Delaware will be back in Georgetown for a mobile pantry that will take place at Crossroads Community Church. It's happening Monday at 10 a.m. The food bank asks that people in need of food pre-register online. The link to that is on our website. The food bank says it's going to have enough food for 1,500 households. People receiving food must prove that they live in Delaware with a valid ID. A fire at a former school in Dorchester County. How investigators say it started.
And we'll have details on possibly some stormy weather moving in over the weekend. We'll have more details on your weekend forecast, as well as whether we'll reach the 80s one more day.
But first, former President Trump back in New York at the district courthouse, and this time under oath. That's up next.
A lack of affordable housing in Lewis, and it's only getting worse. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 5. We begin tonight with the first town trying to tackle a housing crisis.
Tonight, the Lewis City Council is hosting a workshop to get ideas and propose solutions to add more affordable units in the city limits.
WRDE's Charles Reinert is live in Lewis. And Charles, in some ways, this tall task seems almost impossible.
Charlie and Maddie, the city manager pointed out today that everyone wants new affordable housing here in Lewis, but the city is simply too built out to build something new. All are welcome to attend. With coverage you can count on live in Lewis, I'm Charles Reinert, WRDE Coast TV News.
Thank you, Charles. Certainly a tough problem to tackle. Let's take a live look now at the Hershey Exteriors 45th Street Tap House Ocean City camera. And you can see a little bit of a gray day out there, but not half bad temperature-wise as we check in with Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams.
Well, today was actually the first full day of spring. That's in a moment. Till then, back to you.
We will check back in, Paul. Take a look at these security cameras in Dewey Beach. Some of them are so small that you might not have even noticed them. A few weeks from now, they're going to be harder to ignore. The town of Dewey Beach is investing in signs to identify each of the cameras, and the town says the goal is to encourage better behavior and even reduce littering.
The cameras are there, but we don't think our visitors and our residents know they're there sometimes. And we're hoping by identifying and letting them know that the cameras are there, it may curb some of the activities that happen late at night.
The town's hope is to have the signs installed by Memorial Day. The cost is estimated to be about $6,000 or $7,000. And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, do you think that the cameras will increase safety in Dewey? So let's take a look at the numbers.
Take a look so far. Please vote yet. You can do it on WRDE.com or our app, and we will have updated results on WRDE News at 6.
The Board of Commissioners in Rehoboth Beach is considering some code changes. To the potential changes, they have to do with expiration of special exceptions and variances. Under the current code, an exception or variance expires 6 months after the authorization of a permit is not guaranteed, or granted rather, or the use is changed. The city says that timeline, it's difficult, especially for applicants with large commercial projects that need a new site plan review. The change proposed would take a timeline down to 45 days. There will be public hearing discussing the change on April 21st.
A dredging delay on White Creek and parts of the Assawoman Canal is dredging up more controversy. The Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control announced the project was delayed by the contractor. It is set to pick back up in the fall to avoid environmental restrictions in the summer. The contractor says it asked for an extension to try and finish up as much as it can by the spring, which they say Denrick denied. Marina owner Tom Fowler says he's been involved in the process, even allowing contractors to use his space for dredging equipment. Fowler says he remembers an extension in the past and wants one now.
I've been rallying for this project for years, along with a lot of other people, and I put my money where my mouth is, and I don't know if I want them back in the fall, ripping everything up again. They're here. Get it done. The property's ripped up. They'll fix it. That's fine. Get it done.
Denrick declined to comment on our story today, and Denrick says the project will be complete in the fall.
Delaware households will have more money for their internet bill, according to Governor John Carney. The program is federally funded. It will provide low-income families with a $30 a month discount on internet bills and $100 towards laptops, tablets, or computers. According to Governor Carney's office, about 140,000 Delaware households are eligible, with about 32,000 signed up so far.
If you take the Woodland Ferry, listen up. DelDOT says it will be closed tomorrow, but it will reopen there in Seaford Thursday at 7 a.m.
The waiting game continues in Lower Manhattan right now. A grand jury and New York's district attorney are expected to make the next move in the case involving former President Donald Trump.
As NBC's Jay Gray shows us, an alleged affair with an adult film star and allegations regards to campaign funding were involved in keeping the whole thing quiet.
There are at least 4 other investigations into allegations against former President Trump ongoing across the country right now. An Ocean Pines police shed still under investigation and shrouded in mystery where the situation stands.
Clouds are starting to roll in by late tonight, and you know rain is soon to follow. I'll show you the timing of it when we return.
But first, new video released of an incident that police say led to an inmate's death in Virginia. What that video shows, up next.